This is seriously an insane view. We are now definitely driving in the mountains.
I dropped it because it was so slippery. Good morning. I'm finally on my way to Norway. So I'm at my first stop right now, which is the town of Valby. I just went to get some gas. Today is just like a commuting day because I'm meeting a friend in Oslo. So it's a pretty far drive. So I started this morning in Helsingborg. Yeah, I'm gonna have lunch in Gothenburg, which is my next stop. And then it's gonna be a few more hours to Oslo. I'm just on the freeway today, so I'm not really gonna film me driving because it's pretty boring. But yeah, I'm really excited.
It was my first time packing all this stuff, and it definitely took longer than I expected this morning. But yeah, I think I managed pretty well. I was a little bit afraid that the bag would touch the exhaust pipe, but it's doing good for now. Okay, next stop is Gothenburg. I'm going to meet a friend and we're gonna have some lunch. It'll be nice for me to get a break because I'll be on the freeway the entire day. I think everyone can agree that the freeway is not that nice to drive on a motorcycle. So I'm arriving in the city of Gothenburg now. It's actually the second biggest city in Sweden, and I think most Swedish people know this city because of its famous amusement park Liseberg, which was right on the left. We just drove by it. This thing is broken on my helmet, so I don't know if you could hear it, but it's quite annoying, the sound. I'm gonna glue it together. I have glue with me. So we're driving now into the center of Gothenburg, and I think there is some sort of match or game going on. I think it's actually the Gothia Cup, which, to be honest, I actually don't know what it is. It's kind of embarrassing, but I know they have it here at the arena. I know it's in Gothenburg, at least. But this town is very beautiful. It's on the west coast of Sweden, and just like Stockholm, it has a lot of small islands, which is really beautiful to go. But we're not doing that this time. We are just driving by and having some lunch, and then continuing on to Norway. Oh, thank you. We're approaching the city center now, and I think Gothenburg is actually the only city in Sweden that still has these kind of trams that go through the city. Kind of reminds me of Lisbon. So yeah, I don't think any other city in Sweden has that. Yeah, it definitely feels weird to be driving on their tracks, which I'm doing now. Okay. Wait, am I allowed to drive here? I guess that's where I'm going. Okay, let's see where I'm going. Yeah, I am allowed to drive here. It just feels really weird driving on this road. I think because everyone's staring at me, I feel like I can't drive here, but I think everyone's staring just because of all my all my luggage. Well, I just had a super nice lunch with an old friend. I didn't film it, we were talking so much, and it was just such a nice lunch, really. We talked about life and where I was going, and yeah, just catching up after not seeing each other for a few years, so that was really nice. And actually, he was recently on a road trip in Norway as well, so he gave me some tips on things. on things to see. So there's actually one place that's on the way to Oslo, 2 hours and 20 minutes from here. So that's where we're going now.
After coming home from Norway, I turned all those moments into one complete film. But there's something special about the raw, unpolished days in between. So in this mini-series, I want to take you with me day by day through the small moments, the struggles, the little wins, and everything else that didn't make the final cut. This is my journey, exactly how it happened.
So I think this is going to be my last stop in Sweden before I cross the border. So I'm going to fill up with gas one last time, because I think it'll be cheaper in Sweden than it is in Norway. It's such a nice warm day today. The weather really cleared up, so oh my god. What is going on? I think this is the line to get to the gas station. Maybe if other people are thinking the same as me, that it's cheaper in Sweden. No wonder there was a line there. There was like 4 pumps, that's it. So that's why it was so crowded. Let's get back on the highway. My next stop is a cool place on the Norwegian side. So see you then. So right now we're heading to something called Solbergstornet, which is that tower over there. It is so hot. It's like 30 degrees. Basically, these are drawings from the Bronze Age, which is about 1,100 years before Christ. So like 3,000 years ago. I'm shocked at how warm it is. Like, it's literally so hot that I'm sweating through my sweatshirt. Like, can you see it's all wet? It's disgusting. Like, I thought it would be cold in Norway, but apparently it's 30 degrees. Now I've had a little break here, and now I feel really ready to be in Oslo. And I'm gonna be staying with a friend tonight from when I lived in China. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to getting there now, because I've been driving for many kilometers. I think I'm at 500 kilometers. And I have about 100 more to go. So almost there. There's a little bit of a traffic jam here, and as I'm getting into Oslo, I think there's like a crash or something, but I think I can get past if I can drive in the middle. So yeah, I think I'm gonna keep going like this. Hopefully everyone's nice and moves to the side. That would be very nice. I finally made it to Oslo, and I can't believe I only have a few kilometers left of the 600 kilometers that I did today. I think this was the maximum amount of kilometers I can drive in one day. Definitely. I won't be driving this many kilometers in one day the rest of my time here in Norway. But I'm glad I'm finally here, and looking forward to having a nice rest before continuing on my journey. Norway is so hilly, even Oslo, so many hills, and I love how you can already tell that it's Norway by looking at the houses. I feel like this is typical Norwegian houses with like white wood. Thanks for joining me today, even though it wasn't that exciting. I'm looking forward to the rest of my trip. So I really hope you will follow along, and I'll see you next time. Good morning. It is a beautiful and very warm day here in Oslo, and I'm back on my adventure. I stayed 2 nights at my friend's place in Oslo because I hadn't seen her for a while, so I thought I would take the opportunity to just hang out with her for a bit. Yesterday we had such a nice day. I went with her on a work day, and we drove to this little town in the southeast coast of Norway called Tvedestrand, and she had to collect water samples for her work, so we were out on this little boat, and it was just really beautiful out there. It was such a typical Norwegian small town with so many white wooden houses, and I feel like that's super Norwegian. So yeah, we just had a really nice day, and so now I'm continuing on my journey. But before I continue, I am looking for something specific, which is a map of Norway, because I would like to kind of draw on the map where I've driven and where I'm going, so I don't forget where I've been. So my friend, she gave me some advice on a place where I can go and get a physical map. So yeah, that's what we're doing now. And also I need to buy some food, just a couple of things, and then we will be on our way. So just made it to this little town just outside of Oslo called Lillestrøm, and I'm gonna go inside that mall and see if they have a bookstore that I can go to. I'm sorry if this is a running theme, but I'm sweating so much. So I think I'm gonna take my hoodie off because I'd rather put it on later if it gets cold. But good news is that I found a map of the whole of Norway. Even though I didn't need the whole of Norway, I thought this map was the best, like size-wise. And it cost almost 400 Norwegian kroner, which is insane, but it's Norway. I'm getting used to the prices, or I have to get used to the prices. My dad told me about this trick. So I put my foot here and then jump over like that, so it's easier to get on. All right. Okay, so now I feel like the real adventure begins, because right now we are headed to the west of Norway. The first stop is a few hours from here, or it's gonna be like a scenic road that I found on Google Maps that is going towards the direction that I want, and that's not the freeway. Yeah, we're kind of just going with it and taking it as it comes. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out of these cities and just driving through the mountains. So that's the goal for now, finding some Norwegian mountains. Look at all the mountains already. Oh, I can tell it's gonna be so beautiful. And we're not even that far outside of Oslo yet. I've been driving on this absolutely beautiful road, and the weather could not be more perfect. So originally my plan was actually to drive west from Oslo and go to Bergen, or towards Bergen at least, but it was supposed to be raining, so I decided instead to head the complete opposite direction and go north. So my goal is that tomorrow I want to get to Kristiansund, northern part of the west coast. So today I kind of want to get halfway there, and then tomorrow I want to get all the way there. So I just stopped to have some lunch. I just couldn't resist. I wanted to drive a bit further, but this view is just incredible. The water is completely still, there's no wind. It's just, yeah, really nice. So I'm just gonna have some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And yeah, sit in and enjoy this view. Crossing between the mountains now, and in the distance you can see the really tall mountains. They just keep getting bigger and bigger, so this is so exciting. This is a journey I've wanted to take for as long as I can remember. I've pictured the roads, the endless horizons, the feeling of freedom, and now it's no longer a dream. I'm here on the road, experiencing it day by day, exactly how I imagined it. And the truth is, it's about to get even better. Wow, this landscape is so incredible. You can see so far. It's just endless woods and trees and forests. So beautiful. Just stopped for gas at in this cute little town called Årdal. And now we are continuing towards the mountains. In the distance I saw the first snowy mountains so far on this trip, so that's pretty exciting. And the next stop, or I have 3 stops on this road, and I think it's the second stop that's almost 2,000 meters in elevation, so I think we're gonna do a bit of a climb now. Now I've entered a little town called Fagernes. And this seems to be like a bigger town compared to what I've seen for the past 2 hours. It has restaurants. Wait, am I going right? Yes. Restaurants and shops and lots of more houses. And it's just at the bottom of all the surrounding hills. And yeah, it must be beautiful to live here. There they are. There are the mountains. Can you see them in the distance? Oh my god, this is so exciting. Of course, they always disappear right when I want to film them. I'm driving right now on road 51, FV51, I think, and this is supposed to be a very scenic road. I've noticed there are a lot of churches in Norway by the roadside. And they all pretty much look like something like this. Looks very Norwegian with the white planks on the houses. So yeah, that's where we're going. Those mountains. In this area there are a lot of houses with grass on the roof. All over the place, all the way down there. I'm not sure if these are houses to rent for like camping or if people live here. But you can barely see them looking down into the valley. This is seriously an insane view. Oh my gosh. And this is where I'm going to turn. Oh, and it's a gravel road. Okay. Wow. Wow, this looks incredible. Wow. Oh my gosh. says there should be a parking at the end, so I hope there is. But the mountains on the right disappeared. So sad. Oh my gosh, sheep! Look, it's a baby! I checked Google Maps and I don't think that I'll make it to the place that I wanted to today because it's now 4 p.m. and I need to set up my tent and everything, and it's actually my first time camping alone and my first time wild camping alone and my first time cooking alone, like in the wild. I have a stove with me, so yeah, that'll be exciting. And what I mean is I need time to figure all of that out. I think feels like we're driving over this mountain or this mountain range, so let's see what's on the other side of it. Oh my gosh, I just want to film everything because it's just incredible. Oh my gosh, it's so nice. Wow. When you live in a country or a part of a country that's just like completely flat, it's kind of hard to understand that these places actually exist. We are now definitely driving in the mountains. We have a whole mountain range to the left. And it's gotten colder for sure. It's 18 degrees, but that's kind of nice to be honest because it was too hot. This is a cute cafe. Very scenic. So that cafe is actually at 1,389 meters elevation, which means that all of these other mountains are definitely over 2,000 meters in elevation, which is really cool. I see along this road on the map and as well like before when I was driving that there's so many hiking areas and hiking trails, and I would love to do every single hike if I could. If I could do every hike, I would love that. And every time I see a mountain, I just get the urge, like I want to climb it. But yeah, you can't do everything, so maybe that's for another trip. This trip isn't just about the roads I ride. It's about discovering who I am when there's no safety net, no plan, and it's just me and the world unfolding around me. I want to break out of routines, take the unexpected turns, and see where life takes me. I've realized that growth doesn't happen in comfort, and that's why I'm here, challenging myself, exploring the unknown, and learning what I'm truly capable of. So I turned onto this gravel road. Now I'm looking for a camp spot. I have it pinned on Google Maps. I found it from another girl on YouTube who was here, so I thought it looked really nice, so I thought I could also camp here because it's perfect, like on the way where I want to go. Let's see what the camping spot is. Looks like a farm though. Hi. Okay. Oh, they're out of their Wait, how do you pay? What was that? I'm confused. toll road self-service. Oh, I'm gonna take a picture and see about that later. Looks like there's other camper vans down there, so I'm gonna go there. So I think I found my spot. Right here. And there are even rocks, so I mean someone else has camped here, 100%.
So basically, I was at one spot and I thought the water was too loud because I'm like a sensitive sleeper. So I wanted to move, and so I drove my bike to another place, and then I drove it here where I am now, and I dropped it because it was so slippery and I didn't realize, but it's safe. I got it back up. Yeah, so luckily that was no problem, but still it's like now, and I had to take out, and I took off all my stuff when I picked it up, so now my stuff is everywhere, but I got my camping chair set up, so it's off to a great start. Now let's see if I can manage to put this tent up. So before and after tent is set up, I'm so glad that it's sunny and a nice day, because I struggled a little bit with the camping stuff. But I got my tent set up and my chair set up, sleeping bag, sleeping pad, yeah, the thing you sleep on, and getting ready to cook some food. I've organized stuff over there on my bike, even though it might not look organized. So yeah, now I'm gonna try to eat some dinner. I made this vegetarian goulash soup and I poured in some pasta. So yeah, I'm gonna sit and enjoy that now in the sun. I'm so glad the sun is out and it's still really warm out. I mentioned earlier that I got a map at the mall because I wanted to write down where I have driven so I don't forget. And the only map that they had at the store was this gigantic Norway map. And so I bought it for almost 400 Norwegian kroner. So yeah, I'm going to make use of it. So now I've driven 2 days here in Norway, and let me show you where I've driven. This is all of the south of Norway, and Oslo is right here. And I began my journey from Sweden. I took the E6 all the way up until Oslo, and I stayed here. And then I drove to Lillestrøm to get this map. From Lillestrøm, I took road number 4 up like this, and I kept going on the 34 next to this beautiful lake. And then I continued west on the 33 to Årdal. That's where I got gas. And then I went on this really scenic Route 51 all the way up like this. And now I am close to this lake called Tesse right here. So far, that's been my journey. Yeah, so this day, the second day from Oslo to where I am right now, it was about 4 hours driving and a bunch of breaks. So I got here at 6 p.m. and I left at around 10, and I stopped for lunch and things. So yeah, no, maybe I've driven 5 hours today, but I made it a long way. And so tomorrow the plan is to go drive around here and go to Trollstigen, which is a very famous road, and then continue on to Kristiansund, and to see another famous road called the Atlantic Ocean Road. So that's the plan for tomorrow. When I was setting up my tent earlier, I hadn't set it up before, and I just got it because it was really water resistant and it had really good reviews. And yeah, I didn't test it out. So when I opened it, it said that you needed your own trekking pole to set it up. And obviously I didn't have one. So yeah, I used actually my tripod. So luckily I had this tripod, otherwise I don't know what I would have done if I could even have set this tent up. Yeah, so this is my tent setup for tonight. Luckily it's not gonna rain tonight, so... By the way, there's actually no one in that camper or any of these other campers. I don't know if they're abandoned or if they're just parked here. So yeah, that's why I'm parked really close to it, because there's no one there.
Oh my god. But it's okay, I can do it. I can do it. I just tell myself I can do it. I have to say, this road is not good for my stress levels. Whew. The mountains just keep getting more and more dramatic. Like, look at those. There's just a huge line of cars. Okay, but I have to get to the top. I just have to, even though it's gonna be a big traffic jam.